It's game nights, and we're the game nights with a baby because my wife needed to duck out and is in a good mood, so he's just going to be here as, like, I don't know, set dressing, just on the side. He is known as the Beast, and he's just looking around, having a good time. But we're actually here to do nightly news. We're going to do nightly news again, isn't that right, little guy?
Yeah. He likes that nightly news.
Been waiting for weeks.
Yeah, I know. Like, if you've been wondering, there's been some days with no content and stuff like that. Well, we've had lockdown here in the land of Oz, Victoria specifically, and so it's kind of hard to do work when people can't come into work. But now we're back in business, and we want to. Some things have been happening in the news, haven't they, Oz?
Yeah. So,
does anybody want to say anything, like just off your chest, what you? The observations you had while you're away, or
Nathan's had a bit of a revelation while he's been away.
Oh, had a honeymoon.
Can't say the revelation because there's children around, but yeah.
Had a good time.
You're going to distract everyone, aren't you?
He's so cute. All right. So, first bit of news. Scarlett Johansson sues Disney over Black Widow being released on Disney+.
Oh.
I heard about this. I looked into it just very briefly from other commentators and stuff. Now, remember, Nightly News is not about giving you the news. It's about sharing our reactions to the news. Yeah. Don't look for us for accurate news sources. My current understanding, which could be wrong because, again, we're not a news source, was that contractually she was set to be paid a certain amount based off of the box office, which you get from the ticket sales in cinemas. And there was even further that it was actually contractually stipulated that it would have an exclusive cinematic release, Black Widow, and it didn't. And that's a breach of contract, like pretty black and white breach of contract. And she's suing him. And I say, good on her, because Disney, as a company, is a piece of crap.
Yep.
In actual fact, Nathan, you got a video you're working on.
Yeah. Yeah. About Disney Plus and why I'm cancelling.
And when I heard why he's cancelling, I felt I need to put a disclaimer as to why Disney is such a garbage company. So me and Oz has a bit of a public service announcement that interrupts his video for us to just complain about Disney.
I can't even make an own video without getting interrupted. Like,
what are you trying to say there, Nathan?
Up here, up high.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That was an awful high five, but yeah. Oh well. It was, I mean, yeah, you just talk about Disney and then we can just go on rants, all of us, about how
Well,
and
all of us, but one of us in particular.
Yeah. But yeah, again, with this thing, I was really interested to see this because I actually read the article and there's some really good quotes from Johansson's lawyer. He does not pull any punches, if I may read.
Oh, I'm very interested.
Yep.
Okay, I thought Ring was Latin.
Okay, so he said there's no secret that Disney is releasing films like Black Widow directly onto Disney Plus to increase subscribers and thereby boost the company's stock price. And that they're hiding behind COVID-19 as a pretext to do so. And then it says, by ignoring the contracts of the artists responsible for the success of its films.
Can I interject here?
Yep.
This isn't the first time Disney just says F you to contractual obligation, okay? They've bought properties like Fox and ignored contracts and everything, paying out royalties to people who wrote books for Fox, right? And they're just like, F you, we're not going to pay because we don't have to honour the contracts made by some company, even though they bought out the company. It's like that. Disney are scumbags. And it's black and white in the contract, and they're doing that here.
But what her lawyer says, by ignoring the contracts of the artists responsible for the success of its films, of the short-sighted strategy, violates their rights, and we look forward to proving as much in court. This will surely not be the last case where Hollywood talent stands up to Disney and makes it clear that, whatever the company may pretend, it has legal obligation to honour its contracts.
Good. I just find it so interesting that this isn't the first time they're doing it. It's like, it's just ball, I'm losing the analogy. Par for the course.
Many such cases.
Yeah, they just screw contracts. It's like they think they don't have to obey the law or something. They've gotten so big on their high horse, they're like, yeah, we'll do whatever the hell we want.
Well, ever since they built their Disney Death Star up in the skies, they haven't needed to. They've just threatened the world with destruction.
What's the line from Star Wars? Like, we do not need the Senate to keep the lower things in line. Fear! Fear of this battle station.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to
Fear
want that.
Oh,
Yeah, all right.
He just puked a little bit.
Oh,
A little bit of pukies.
He wants to look at everything. He's like, what's happening? This is a different environment. You don't usually come in here. You're like, what is this place? Anyway, we're getting distracted from babies, which...
We're not a news source, but we are a baby source.
Yeah. And just if you hear weird noises off screen, my other son, who we call the Thunder God, is also present, because my wife had to duck out. Anyway, anything you want to share else, Ben?
I've been a huge Disney fan for my entire life.
Haven't we all? Like, we
Yeah.
grew up with Disney.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, like, my wife and I, we had a Disney-themed wedding. Like, we had Disney-themed cake, we had Disney-themed decorations, she had Disney-themed shoes.
Disney
dress.
themed after. Sorry.
Oh boy! Let's get this started, guys!
I'll give you that, man. I'll give you. Usually it's always that doubles down, but you
Like
came in strong
Pinocchio.
there.
Oh my gosh.
I tried to steal it from you, but I couldn't.
Yeah, no, sorry. But yeah, and I mean, I've been a huge fan of fairy tales and the Brothers Grimm and all those sorts of things for a very long time, and I love the things that Disney did with them. But the way they've turned around and are just shafting literally everyone else who is trying to...
Not literally everyone, but they're shafting a lot of people.
As
A lot
many
of,
as they
a lot
can.
of people.
And they're an immoral company now. They're
Yeah.
doing really shady stuff. And I think companies need to be called out for this bullcrap. Like, absolutely.
I would like to see what happens when they eventually manage to find a way to unfreeze Walt Disney's head and bring him back to life.
Oh, he's
and just
kinda-
for him to just hang his head in shame at what his legacy has become.
I've got a good follow-up to the Disney thing. Look at you! Hello!
That's so stretchy.
You want to see everything, don't you?
Good follow-up. So, Games Workshop, the people who make Warhammer 40k. This is a good one, right? So they recently updated. So what happened was there was a bunch of animators on YouTube, like single play people doing it on their own for free. Made a bunch of awesome animations that like got tons of people interested.
So you're talking about Astartes?
Yep,
Yes,
Astartes
Astartes.
is a
Did you see that,
perfect
by the way?
example.
Astartes is amazing,
Okay,
man.
sweet. Basically, Games Workshop went to those guys and said, "Hey, bud, come here. You want to work for us? Oh, you don't? Okay, well then we're gonna copyright strike everything that you do.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, you do want to work for us? Great, come on in.
Really?
By the way, you have to take all of your content off YouTube. Can't put it up there again. It's all going to this specific site that you have to pay for that no one uses. And meanwhile, the people who did the free animations, who they like, yeah, come work for us, but then they just shafted. They still destroyed their Patreon, destroyed their YouTube channel.
Yeah, forced them to shut down their Patreon.
Everything gone.
Are you kidding? This is the first... Are you kidding me?
So
And did they do it to the Astartes creator as well?
No, they actually
forced him to-
hired him.
Yeah, they
But-
hired him.
Yeah,
But
Under
it's...
duress. you
Well,
know.
is that proven, that part? Like,
Well, no,
it
because he
seemed like
actually-
that the Astartes one was more amicable.
It's
yeah,
proven, yeah.
He put out a statement saying that this has been his dream for his entire life to work for Games Workshop, and
Yeah.
he's really happy about it.
Yeah.
But they're making him release all his stuff on a like a really
But
unpopular.
Warhammer community, yeah.
but
Yeah.
other creators
Yeah.
that are making stuff, they threaten to copyright strike unless...
No, they have.
They have.
So they have said, hey, do you want to work for us? Hey, this person has said no, and they said, okay, well then we're copyrighting, claiming everything on your YouTube, and you must shut down your Patreon.
Scumbags!
Yep. And up for years, drew in. That's the thing, they've nuked their own community.
Yeah.
And here's the thing,
That's what they've done.
people are already re-uploading the stuff onto YouTube on different accounts.
Yeah.
You know?
Good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that means the creator doesn't get the
Yeah.
ad revenue or the credit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yep.
this
that-
is... I can't express
Yeah.
how friggin' dirty this is.
Yeah.
I
Made
can't
themselves
believe it.
more irrelevant because they want people to subscribe to
This
their
is the
website.
type of thing, like, they're dead to me now.
Yeah.
How could I ever support a company that is that friggin' scummy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the annoying thing. I see a lot of appeal in Warhammer 40k and the lore and all the things that I don't even want to touch it now. I was thinking getting into the audiobooks and all that stuff. Not a chance in hell.
Yep.
Games Workshop can friggin' burn for all I care. And this is the thing. I think there's going to be so many people hooked on the product that they're not going to be able to...
It's called plastic crack for a reason, Shad.
Yep.
Literally, go and look at my desk.
But no, seriously, like one of the biggest appeals for me with Warhammer 40k was the ability that every individual had to create their own stories within the universe of 40k.
Your own guys. They're your guys.
Yeah.
Warhammer 40k is about your guys specifically.
Astartes is a perfect example. He created his own chapter of Space Marines that had a specific task, and in this new video that they've made him do, they've changed them into Ultramarines. Like, they're not even his own thing anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they changed him into Ultramarines. Have you not seen the Have you seen the changes that they made?
I thought they only changed the music.
No. He's an Ultramarine now.
No.
Yeah, we can go and look at it. I mean,
That can't be true.
if I am wrong, I will stand corrected. But
You're talking about they've changed Astartes.
yeah, and they've changed the artwork on them, so it's Ultramarines.
I can't.
That's what I saw. Okay, and I mean, if it's not actually true, and if it's just people stirring up stuff, then I will stand corrected. But that is what I saw.
So basically, Shad, imagine they've taken like someone like someone's cool fan character.
Oh, I get exactly what's happening.
And then
Yeah.
change it into the poster boy for the.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like that's what they've done. So, but yeah, like I said, if that is wrong and if it's just hearsay, I will stand corrected. But
So-
that's what I saw.
I'm trying to figure out, to what level are you entitled to do fan fiction, stuff? Like,
Well, there's the Emperor's text-to-speech device, which is like it's just like sprites moving around on the screen that's animated with voiceover. It's not like a 3D full thing. It's a parody, so maybe that's not covered because that's still up.
well, see, parodies are allowed, okay? But they're usually for comedic and stuff like that. But it's like when you're trying to make something in earnest that's based in the universe, that's when they have legal right to claim copyright, yet they're trying to attack their own fan base. This happened with Star Trek. There was a Star Trek fan-made film or in the process that got really far, and then Paramount, I think, owned Star Trek at the time. I don't know who owns it now or if they really wasn't at the time. Yeah, struck it down. And I think they're afraid because the fans are making better stuff than what the mainstream is.
Yeah.
Like, and this is because I understand the copyright law and stuff, but something as small as Astartes and everything,
Yeah.
it's so scummy. And
Yeah.
They're deliberately disabling their own community.
yeah, I don't think I'll ever touch any Games Workshop property now.
Well, damn it, but still, fair enough. I said I'm not going to buy anything any more stuff until one, I've actually painted those ones.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, and two, till they stop being
There are
douches.
good replacements though. For that, I don't think the law is extensive or deep, but I think there are alternatives, aren't there?
The law for Warhammer 40k is just so good.
It's amazing.
At the same time, they do ruin things themselves, though.
They kind of do. But no, the lore in 40k is beyond anything that I've like. It's
one of the most expansive sci-fi universes ever.
Yeah.
It's got everything in it,
yeah.
and it's very dark.
Well, this was a disappointing thing. I guess we'll get
Yeah.
on to the next disappointing thing.
Yep.
Actually, do you
What's
have any
next
good,
in
any
Demon
good
World?
news?
We do have good news. I'm very excited for one in particular.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Battlefield Portal. Now, this is something I'm glad. Evil company doing good thing. So how how we're always talking about
So
modding?
this must be from EA then.
Yes. You know how we're always talking about modding?
When I hear evil company, like there's a couple of choices.
Well,
and
evil-
Disney, but this is gaming, and so the most evil gaming company is EA. It has to be.
So basically, they're doing this thing called Battlefield Portal, where they're getting all of the content from the old games they made and putting it into one game where you can mix and match everything up. So that's basically modding, kind of. You have to pay for it in the game, but still, I'm pretty sure you have to. Still, that's actually gold. That's really good. I'm waiting for them to find some way to be like, aha, we gotcha, we screwed you over, because that's what they always do.
Was it Battlefield that sold the different color?
No, that was Call of Duty.
That was Call of Duty. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it. It's Battlefield Call of Duty.
But what Battlefield...
I've never been into those games.
Yeah, no, no.
Battlefield did try to sell a one-armed woman fighting in World War II as a soldier. They did try to sell you that.
Next, someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah, as a tank.
You see that picture of like the Get Off My Lawn 3000? It's like his ride-on mower, like decked out with like miniguns and stuff. It's
Oh,
great.
man.
And I'm not saying there isn't a place for something like that.
Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It's just when you're making a World War II game, be respectful to the history.
Yeah.
And... They gave someone a sword, and it was a freaking katana in World War II.
Yeah, Chad. There were katanas in World War II.
Yeah, I know, but who was using them?
The Japanese.
Yeah. If a World War... Oh, you're
You
gonna
got
get
comments
resin.
too.
Yeah. It's gonna be one to be held soon. But I was saying, the British guy, there's a wealth of British swords that he could have used that are just...
And Mad Dog Jack Churchill,
Oh, yeah.
running into combat with his sword screaming. Was it a Zweihander?
It was technically a basket-hilted broadsword, claymore, if I'm being technical, and a longbow. What a legend. When is the movie of Mad Jack going to be made? But,
So many heroes in that war.
the thing is, he's the wrong type of hero for this day and age.
Yeah.
British,
There's a
white. He's not the right type of hero, unless they make him black, which they would. If they could do What's Her Face, the Queen, they could do it to Mad Jack.
Well, I mean, especially Battlefield, they got the stories that men did and gave it to women in the game.
And I actually found that hugely disrespectful for the guys that risked their lives and died and then it got me angry.
There was heroic things that women did, like nursing, like to be around people who have got their guts blown open and trying to save their life. That's heroic as well.
Yeah.
Focus on that. Band of Brothers did, Man.
All right, so that's interesting news from...
Another take from Demon World. Let's have a look, because that's where we're living now. Here's one you're going to like. Well, not going to like. He-Man. More like She-Man.
We haven't got there yet because lockdown, I've been sick, but I have stuff to say about He-Man. Well, let's shelve that. And
You look as depressed as Kevin Smith does in all of his photos on the internet. Do you not want to go into that yet?
Not yet. We're going to do a dedicated video on He-Man.
Okay,
I have things to say.
Blizzard scandal.
This is a bit of a hairy, multi-layered kind of controversy. The Blizzard thing.
Yeah, it's like a hairy lasagna.
So share your thoughts, the information, and I'll follow up with what I...
Nathan, I believe that's your...
Yeah, so basically a company went through Blizzard, like another third-party company, to check Blizzard's standing, Activision Blizzard, and they're pretty much saying that there's lots of scandals and inappropriate things happening at your workplace. And all the employees said, yeah, we know. And then pretty much everything's coming out now.
And I've heard some legitimately horrifying things, and I've also heard some basic frat boy-like guy behaviour which should not be taken seriously. It's just guys being idiots amongst guys.
Oh wait, we don't.
And I'm not equating the serious stuff as brushing off. No, there are some legitimately horrifying serious stuff about passing around nude pictures of work colleagues and stuff like that. Is disgusting.
That's not right.
That is.
Unless you work in Hollywood, that's not right.
Heads should roll, and so there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then there is guys just joking around with people taking it way too far and seriously, like how dare they do it and things. So yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Bloody nerds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now,
we do, we do guy jokes around here. Just the other day.
This is what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
We make, guy jokes, right? But sometimes offensive humour is funny. And just for the reaction. And you probably know who I'm referring to when I'm mentioning who does these jokes. Oh, no, I don't know who would make these types of jokes.
Yeah, but seriously, if you offend someone, listen to the wind and notice that nothing has changed in reality. Just their feet hurt. Oh.
I think it is different though when it comes to offence and actually genuinely hurting someone. So with these accusations, obviously there's sexual abuse happening.
Yeah, that's not offence, that's illegal.
And I think
that's
people
awful.
are sometimes missing the line between a guy who's just being an idiot and needs to be put in his place to actually affecting someone.
Well, it raises the question, okay, what is the line where it becomes bad behaviour? For instance, more guys seem to work at Blizzard than girls, okay? And what if the guys want to get together and have a guys' night playing D&D or something? And because they just want to be a guys' night, they only invite the guys. And the girls in whatever work group or office environment feel excluded. And therefore they feel this is sexist behaviour. Is that too far? Because this is the thing. I actually think girls should be perfectly entitled to have girl time with girls among their friends, and guys the same. Guy spaces and girl spaces. Yet that's sexist and exclusatory. And if you see
Twilight.
their hand in the bottom of the screen,
Yes.
that's my other son trying to say hi. He's been poking in. Hey, God of Thunder, do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Go over to Meme Lord, and he'll let you say.
Little fella, hey, over here.
No, he's hiding now.
Oh,
That made him-
Sorry,
But yeah,
my
so
shadows.
if, like, okay, and so me, I don't feel like I should be excluded from the girls' table just
Yeah.
because I don't want to be hanging around with the guys. And if girls in a workplace are going to take it upon themselves to get butthurt because the guys are having a gaming night without them, that's not the guys' problem. Okay, the guys are hanging out with the guys because they're all friends, okay? If the girls want to be invited, they can go and ask, hey, can we come and join? And if the guys say, this is kind of a guy's night, that is their prerogative.
If they want to come into our areas of expertise, we get to go to their bathrooms. Now, you say no, but here's the thing. If you go a little further more to the left, you're the ones that are bad.
Oz is trying to make an example through exaggeration. We endorse the comment. Well, see, this is the thing, right? I like the problems that are arising from sexual harassment stuff and the legitimate horrifying stuff that's terrible, as well as the stuff that is being misidentified as sexism and abuse when it's not. It's just guys acting like guys amongst guys, right? It makes me understand why certain bosses would be reluctant to have a multi-gendered workforce. And like they would look at, okay, these are the jobs that I need to do. These are this is the gender that is most often fulfilling their qualifications. And so if I can find most people, game designers, the best ones turn to be men, I could understand now why a boss would say, I'm only going to be hiring guys.
Well, they've done blind studies.
Just to avoid this crap.
Yeah.
Like to avoid sexual harassment and stuff like that. And, feminists will say, how dare you being sexist only hiring one gender? But there's like, it's a safe pick, Why does Ninja only stream with guys, right? To just avoid any issues of even accusations of inappropriate behavior with female streamers. So it doesn't even feel, and it's like, the legitimately horrible stuff ruins it, but also people being overly sensitive and calling sexism when sexism doesn't exist are also ruining it. If you want this fair, equal, everyone working in the same environment thing, well, obviously call out the illegal stuff when it's illegal, but also understand that sometimes guys will act like guys and girls will act like girls. Like, there are jokes like that guys do amongst guys, like slapping each other in the balls or something like that. And we all laugh it off, right? But if a guy does it to a girl, obviously that's sexual harassment. Yeah. I'm not saying a guy should ever do it, but there is...
I believe it's called a clam slam.
Yeah, but this is the thing. There is legitimate behaviour amongst guys, right, that is considered perfectly fine and appropriate, that is not appropriate amongst girls, but also behaviour that girls do amongst girls that are inappropriate for guys as well. I don't want anyone to braid my hair. It's a joke, okay?
So you do want someone to braid your hair?
The joke was playing on the stereotype that girls all braid their hairs when they're amongst each other. That was the stereotype that was. Okay.
Actually,
if you just want me to point...
on that. I grew up with 3 sisters.
And do they braid each other's hair a lot?
I braided their hair.
Oh, that was sweet of you.
Okay? I learned how to braid hair and I did it. Okay? I'm actually growing my hair out because I've always had a crew cut my entire life because my dad's been a cop and I was a cop. And I want to grow it out. And if I have a daughter, I want to let her braid my hair too because she wants to. That's fine.
Dude, get one of those like
Are you
Padawan.
getting hungry?
Oh yeah, one of those little Padawan things.
Yeah,
Are you
Padawan.
getting hungry? This is what happens when you have children. You just got to deal with it, guys. And he's getting a little restless because he's hungry. And so... you gotta live this. I'm a dad.
Hungry baby.
Hungry baby.
Yeah. No, I can get a little Padawan thing and then she can sit down and braid my hair and I can be like, do it.
Do it. Look. And Ben now knows how to braid hair.
Yes, I do.
It's a skill.
It actually got me a lot of attention when I was looking for a date because, like a little girl would be like, "Hey, can you braid my hair?" I'd be like, "Yeah, no worries." Maybe my niece or something.
Maybe
like that,
he has caught on to a deeper truth than I have ever.
Well, that's the thing. There's one thing that'll always get you a date, and that's baby powder. Baby powder.
But then all these other girls my age would see me braiding my niece's hair, and they'd be like, oh, "You're already such a good."
I noticed that.
Here's
right?
my number.
I noticed that when I lived in Perth, like with my brother and his young family, if you hold a baby or just like hold their hand and walk them around, chicks just love it, man. Yeah. Chicks love babies.
Hey, calm down. All the girls watching this, all right? I'm married, okay? Even though I'm obviously showing myself to be this incredibly masculine, fatherly figure who's looking after... I'm married. It's okay.
You saying the ladies want to see your sword?
You'll have to get your rocks off on somewhere else.
Yeah, hey, comments down below.
Oh my gosh, that's not
Yeah, we're all married, so come on, ladies, help him out, please.
They got me on.
But this is the problem. Most people you meet online are unfortunately psychos.
Yes.
Like, especially through YouTube comments. And if you think I'm lying, I have direct experience from what's happened to other people, not me, because I've learned from those. Like,
would you like to tell us who?
No, I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want me to say, but
I heard this story.
like, you know, I know people who have entertained being hit on through people who've watched their YouTube content, and it's happened to him more than once. He didn't learn from it the first
To
time.
be fair though, Shad, ABP, always be pimping.
No.
Yes.
No, that's wrong.
Until you're married.
Yeah. So, but to be fair, okay, I mean, there are good... I mean, I met my wife online. Kind of, actually. She was actually...
You have to be really careful when people hit on you from knowing your YouTube persona. That's the danger.
fair. Yeah, that's...
No, but
What if
she
you
was
tell them
referred to
after?
me by another friend, and she reached out to me online. So, a little bit different. But still.
Yeah, internet dating is this new thing, newfangled thing.
Yeah. Necessary
anyway.
lockdowns, you know.
There's nothing necessary about... I can't actually say, I don't think.
Is there anything else we want to talk about this Blizzard thing?
Big company bad.
Well, it's interesting. Hasn't Blizzard been going woke as well? So, like, trying to push, we are so progressive and all that stuff. Then you find out about this legitimately horrible stuff that's going on.
Well, that's the thing. You find out except for Ben, because he's married. You find out someone's a male feminist, start the clock on the rape allegation. Just wait. It's a matter of time.
That's a bit too far.
Look at Hollywood.
I can't.
There has been a disturbing amount of the most outspoken and aggressive male feminists turning out to be horrible kind of sex abusing
Which is
type of
exactly
people.
what I just said.
Yeah. No, you were saying all of them. I'm just saying there's a disturbing correlation.
Correlation.
There's a disturbing correlation.
No, I am proudly a male feminist, and I've never raped anyone. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the second thing. Let me... I'm kidding. Hey.
See, I don't think you're actually a feminist.
You don't think so?
What type of feminism? Because you do not agree with the extreme.
Do you believe in equality between men and women?
No. So I see a very big difference between feminism and the extremist feminism.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And so that's why. How can you identify as a feminist when the crazies seem to have overtaken the movement? Like, if you look at all the most outspoken thought leaders in the movement, they're nutcases.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider them feminists.
But they're the thought leaders of defining what modern feminism is.
They're not true feminists. No, they're extremists. It's like the extremist Muslims are not true Muslims.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a difficult discussion. Well, for example, feminists back in whenever they were doing their thing the first time were blowing up, like places.
Again, extreme.
They were bombing.
Like, and this is the thing, okay? I've actually done studies on this, being a police officer, okay? Anything in its extreme eventually leads to terrorism, okay? It doesn't matter if you're far left, far right, Muslim, feminist, whatever the case may be, okay? If it is taken to an extreme case, okay, and you end up being radicalized over it, okay, it will turn to terrorism.
Humor doesn't.
What?
Humor doesn't.
Extreme humor. So a radical humorist. Okay. Can you give me an example of a radical humorist?
The Joker.
Gee,
Hey, terrorism!
no, but if you wanted to, like, the most radical comedians, Dave Chappelle is probably the furthest one.
Oh.
I'm not really...
No, he's a good one, but he's not the most radical feminist.
No, radical comedian.
Oh, sorry. Did I say feminist?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I meant to say comedian, yeah.
Yeah, radical comedian. But but seriously.
Well,
In terms of saying the most offensive stuff, that's my gauge on.
okay,
what's his name? Who's the British dude?
Ricky Gervais.
He said much worse things. Yeah, dude. No, like, low key. He said some bad, like, funny, hilarious, but bad jokes. Stuff I wouldn't say.
But look, anyone who gets to the point of extremist radicalization is beyond the point of the category they
but
came
the question
to
is,
be part of.
which ideologies have a high representation of extremism, and which ideologies propose extremist views as being mainstream more than other ideologies.
That's the crazies.
And modern day feminism, they like hashtag kill all men trending and stuff.
Yeah,
and
see, that's
in like insane things that they push as being mainstream.
Just saying that men and women are different inherently
is sexist
is
when it's a
sexist
biological
and will
fact.
get you fired.
See, and this is where I'm saying, like, the extremist case
But
that they take.
I
is
feel there's a lot
ridiculous.
of grey area because there are some talking points that feminism push that they try and believe are very normal, like things like the gender wage gap.
Patriarchy.
Or patriarchy, right?
do you believe in
When it's
patriarchy?
actually... we don't want to
you
get into an argument about
Yeah.
specifics, but the
We're talking
example...
about Blizzard at the moment, yeah.
The example I'm giving, right, is that they think that these are run-of-the-mill talking points that every average feminism can get behind. When you actually go onto the basis or foundation of it, it's rooted in some of the most anti-scientific stuff. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, the wage gap, if it exists, is a natural result of the differences between men and women and the choices that they make. Okay? Men usually pick fields that pay more, STEM fields, and women pick fields of study, arts and other things that pay less, okay? And then they try and push that that's a form of sexism. So these are men and women just naturally gravitating towards the gendered interests that they have. And there are exemptions to the rule, but the generalities create this difference.
Yeah.
And that's not sexism. But then people will decry there's a wage gap and there's sexism happening that's inherently in our society, when it's like, it's actually not.
You can
Not,
just
not
take,
with this.
take one aspect of it into account, the fact that half the population needs to disappear from work for 9 months to raise children, and only half the population needs to do that. The fact that there's a difference of, 21 cents? 25 cents?
Well, that's a false statistic as well.
Well, no, but the fact is that there's so many of them already going away, but the gap is still so close, even though it's not a wage gap, it's an earnings gap.
And like economists have already done this. Just try and if you take hourly wages for the same job done, okay, taking into account the amount of experience that they have and everything like that, the wage difference doesn't exist. Men and women get paid the same for their hourly rate for the same job based on the same experience. Everything. It's the same.
Yeah.
The only difference that arises is how many hours you work. If you work, men generally work more hours than women, and so therefore they end up. But the hourly rate is the same, and so anyway.
Again, they've just taken how much women make overall worldwide and how much men make overall worldwide and said, "Oh, look the difference." Of course, there's going to be.
And that's like comparing full-time workers to part-time workers, and then saying there is
guess who works
bigotry
more
in the
part-time?
system because full-time workers earn more than part-time. And so I can't stand the inherent dishonesty in some of these even general talking points.
Yeah.
Now, I think there are legitimate things that women have to deal with that are a problem that men don't, but men have to deal with crap that women don't, and I find that it usually balances out.
like the
So-
Titanic.
yeah, women should first. But anyway, so sorry, that was just I was like, when you say you're a feminist, I was like, let's break that down.
I think no, I don't think we've actually properly broken it down because
I know we haven't.
No,
Egalitarianism means equality between the sexes.
I know, but what I'm saying is I think we should actually make another video on this because I think that our main point of argument will be actually the definition of what feminism is.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, and that's what was my kind of takeaway point is that to me, when I hear feminism, unfortunately now the extremists have ruined the term, and I could never identify with
totally
one
agree with
because if I identified one, the extremists will say, "Ha, he supports me." And I don't support you, crazies. You're nutcases.
Yeah.
This is me talking from where I have close family members that identify as feminists, but they don't identify as the extremists, just like you say. And I think there's a disconnect understanding of what are you actually supporting. But anyway,
So that's the thing. A lot of people don't actually know what they're supporting when they say.
See, that's the thing though, because I'm saying that these things that like what they're actually supporting.
it's just like I don't even want to touch this part. I'll sit down here.
But in this stage, you know, this thing that people don't actually know what they're supporting, I would argue is not actually feminism. And I think that's what we're going to be talking about.
No, but what I'm saying is okay. For example, because me and your wife have lots of discussions about this.
Yes.
A lot of the things that she.
So for context, my wife is very far left. And she's not an extremist feminist. She actually disagrees with many of the extremist views of feminism. But she is quite a bit farther left.
See, no, she's not far left.
Sorry?
If she doesn't agree with the extremist views, she's not far
No, but
left.
Shad,
You
here's the
can
thing.
get moderate, okay, and then you can get far left, and then you can get the extremist. I think there's a difference. between
People
the
who
two.
aren't politically engaged and haven't actually read these ideas don't understand where they go and what they lead to.
Yeah.
They don't understand where, destroying an economy and then just paying people money endlessly and printing money machines. They don't understand where that goes. They think, people are poor, just give them more money. Comes from the government. Simple as. They don't know where it goes. Huh?
What?
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they just don't understand where it goes. And it's simple as starting from that and then all of a sudden you're at bloody genocide. And it's literally a 5-year gap and they don't understand. Communist, what do you call it? Gulag Archipelago? Like, it's as simple as we want equality and happiness for everyone. And you create the worst atrocities to ever happen on an industrial scale. And people just don't see it. And we're going there slowly now. We are. We're real close to it.
So that was Blizzard, guys.
Yeah, I know. Why did you bring up that you're a feminist?
Because he started talking about male feminism.
Yeah,
Oh,
I said start
okay.
the clock on the rape charge.
Okay. Yeah. And I wonder how many of these abusers in
So
Blizzard
I needed to-
identified as being a
Yeah,
feminist.
I needed to put my foot down because,
So I guess not all feminism bad is Ben's takeaway, and I guess my the response to the discussion was, what do you mean by feminism? It's a more complex thing.
Look out for another video, guys.
I don't know. Well, I don't like because we only talk about politics and ideology when we're reacting to it.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah,
so
no, that's fair enough.
intertwined now. that
It
we
is.
can't get away
Like,
from
do
it.
people want dedicated political content from us, though?
Yeah, guys, do you want a political argument? We talked about swimming. We talked about what swimming
I know,
was.
see, that's fun. And you know why it's fun? Because it doesn't matter.
Should we argue about
If
politics?
it's pointless then, okay, we'll make it about am I a feminist? Am I a feminist, guys? Yep.
We'll see, let us know. I'm reluctant to do dedicated
But it'd
political
be me,
content. I
it'd be
don't
me
want
versus
it.
you then. If that was the case, it'd be me versus you in that debate.
Okay.
Can I just say, people have been, I'm just letting you know, I have been demonstrating some high-tiered dad skills right here. Like, he's been getting unsettled, and so, I understand babies. I understand, like, I've been entertaining and keeping, I was like, with just a little toy, and it's like, this is subtle techniques that you learn over many years of practice.
Yes, Shad, you're
But
very impressive.
it's like a stopgap, though. It doesn't work forever, but it worked for a good portion, okay?
Your clones are very impressive. You must be very proud.
I'm gonna be a big worry when you grow up, hey? See,
Let's give him a sword.
is still interested.
My lord.
You want the sword? You want? He reached for it.
He's taking
he
it.
wants the sword.
He feels the power.
He's got a good grip.
That's my boy.
All right.
Boy, you make Daddy very proud. So this has been the baby edition of Nightly News.
Oh, there's one
We
more
did-
point.
Oh, is there another
thing?
There's one
Yes.
more point.
Mortal- You can introduce it. Say the whole story.
So if you guys have been watching game nights regularly, you will have seen my first video game review, Mortal Shell. It is one of my all-time favorite video games, and it is getting some new DLC. It's getting a roguelike mode, which means it's a procedurally... I don't know how much of this is going to be actually, but generally, roguelikes are procedurally generated worlds that you start from point A and you try to make it from point B. You inevitably die before you reach point B, and so you start all over again. And the next run you go through, it's a different world. You get different enemies, different skills, different weapon drops, all that sort of thing. And it's going to create just a dynamic and versatility to the...
Never-changing world.
Yeah, like, honestly, Mortal Shell, it's a fantastic, beautiful game, but it's very, it gets stagnant after a while. But this is going to add some new flavour to it, and I love roguelikes, I love Mortal Shell, I'm really excited.
Oh, there we
Finally
go.
end on a good note.
Hey, one bit of good news about. Well, there was that kind of like Battlefield thing.
Yeah, we're just waiting on that one. Start the clock on Battlefield, eh?
Thanks, EA.
Alrighty, so then I guess now this has been the baby edition of Night News.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Don't believe anything we say and double check your own sources. Because if you're coming to us from the news, something is wrong with the world.
Yeah.
there is a lot of things wrong with the
There
world.
is something.
Well,
Okay,
yes,
no,
there
there
is.
is.
And I think...
That might explain it. This might explain why people would come to us. Because, as bad as we are, I think we're orders of magnitude better than CNN still.
all of them, man. All of them. They're all lies. Trust us.
Yes.
No, don't trust us. Really don't. Thank you, guys. And this has been the Game Nights. Wishing you a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
He's a little fella.